Hi there, my name is Ashti and you are watching Gadget 360. Now I've been thinking to buy an electric scooter for a while now, but since EVs are not yet matured as compared to their traditional petrol and diesel counterparts, I'm not too sure about the things that one should consider when buying an EV in India. And I'm guessing a lot of you are like me and are trying to learn the basics of EVs. So stay with me till the end of this video if you are thinking to buy an electric scooter or have been planning to get it, as we will be answering all the questions and bursting some myths. Electric two-wheelers are currently dominating Indian roads as compared to electric cars across India. In Q1 2022-2023, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Gujarat and Tamil Nadu saw the highest number of electric two-wheeler sales in India. The electric scooter segment has also matured to a significant level, so you will find reasonably priced electric scooters in the market right now. So here are 10 things to know when buying an electric scooter in India. Number 1 is to test ride an electric scooter to have a look at its build quality yourself.
Today, I would always encourage every person who's intending to buy a scooter, whether this year or the next year, to make one visit to an electric vehicle showroom, and I would encourage an Ather showroom. It doesn't matter whether you are buying one today or not. Just go in and understand what has gone into building an electric vehicle, test ride an electric vehicle, and you will not be able to say no to it when you're making your next purchase.
Coming to the second point, charging facility. Now obviously electric scooters work on batteries. So one of the first things before buying an electric scooter, you need to know what kind of battery does it work on. Does it have a removable battery that you can take back home and charge using any wall socket? Or does it have a battery swapping facility where you can exchange your drained battery for a new one? Now preferably you should buy an electric scooter that has a removable battery which can be charged using any wall socket at home, just like your phone or laptop. This will make your life much easier.
In petrol scooter, you cannot control whether you are leaving home with a good fuel because there is no way of refueling at home. But in the case of electric scooters, all refueling is happening at home. So to that regard, electric scooters are more like your mobile phone and less like your petrol scooter. Now think about your mobile phone. How many days have you left home with 20% charge? Probably very less. As a habit, we've got very habituated to charging once in the night, having a full charge, and then actually leaving home without a charger. Come to think of it, we should have been even more worried about not finding enough public phone charging stations than we are about scooter, but we are not, because we know two, three things. First is that we are very confident that the amount of charge that we leave home in the morning is sufficient for all our work, and that is very much true for electric vehicles. Second is we can charge at within our control at any point of time when we are at home, which is true about electric vehicles because your charger is at home in most cases and not dependent upon when a petrol pump is going to be open. Right? And the third thing is that electric vehicle can be charged from a 5 ampere plug point, which is the common plug point which is there everywhere. And having said all of this, the rate at which charging infrastructure is growing in India is amazing. Right? It will very soon be higher than the number of petrol pumps that are there in India. Right? Very, very soon.
The third thing you could do is to talk to electric two-wheeler owners.
While if you bought a petrol scooter today, there are chances that either in your lane or in your next lane, there would be somebody who owns that vehicle. In electric vehicle, that might not be the case, but I'm sure in the friend circle or in relative circle, you will find somebody who has gone through the journey of actually owning an electric vehicle, or specifically find out people who have owned the brand which you are intending to purchase. Because once you do that, you will understand how the life of an electric vehicle has been, what kind of experiences they have had through the journey.
Now fourth biggest factor is range, which means how far your electric scooter can go in one full charge. So before buying electric scooter, make sure you check the range and get to know about all the details.
A good way for a person to check is that what is the kind of daily travel that I do. Okay. And our understanding from whatever we've sold till now is that a daily travel of an average consumer is around 20, 30, 50 kilometers depending upon which city they are in. And most of the electric vehicles that are out there, I'm not talking only about Ather, but most of a good performing electric vehicle is giving a range of somewhere between 80 to 100, 120, which means that you will definitely be at home peacefully if you are leaving home with a good charge.
This brings us to the fifth point, the maximum load. Now, e-scooters are lighter when compared to our conventional scooters. So some of you might worry about the weight limit that the electric scooter can support. But most of the good performing electric scooters today can carry weight very similar to regular petrol scooters, somewhere around 150 kgs to 175 kgs. Now comes the speed. Now we all know how Indian roads are, so it is always advised that you get an electric scooter that has a top speed of 70 to 90 kilometers per hour.
So I think whatever rules apply for a petrol scooter, the same rules apply for an electric vehicle. The good news about electric vehicle is that even if you have a little lesser top speed, because the acceleration is way better than a petrol scooter, you actually are able to travel faster because mostly in India, it is a start and stop traffic. Seldom do you travel in top speed for a very, very long time, right? Unless you're on a highway, etc., right? Which means what matters is that when you're from stop, you're starting, how quickly can you get to a higher speed? And again, after decelerating, how fast can you decelerate? And that factor is way better in electric scooters than it is there in petrol scooter. So if anything, I would say that a scooter with a little lesser top speed than a petrol scooter would give you a similar or better performance if it is an electric.
The next thing I should keep in mind is the ownership cost. Some of the best electric scooters available in India cost somewhere between rupees 50,000 to over rupees 1 lakh. So make sure to check the on-road price, financing options if available, and the kind of tax benefits that you can get when you purchase the electric scooter.
They should go into a petrol scooter store, okay, and find which is the product that they want to buy, and actually find out what is the on-road cost of that petrol scooter after all the accessories and after every cost that gets into it, right? They should have that number. Knowing the petrol prices and knowing how much they travel, they should add up what is their cost of travel of through petrol for, let's say, a year, year and a half, right? Once they get that number, I think it will become very obvious to them that electric vehicles are far inexpensive over a 1 to 1.5 year period, and is actually a profit making tool for you over a 4 to 5 year period, which is the minimum time that people own their scooters. People own their scooters for, earlier it used to be 8, 9 years, now it's come down to 4, 5 years, right? In 1.5 years, all the additional costs that you have paid for an electric scooter upfront gets negated by the advantage that you have of charging versus petrol. And then for another 3.5 years, 4 years, you are actually making more money for every kilometer that you're traveling.
Another thing that you must inquire about is the features. Does it have Bluetooth connectivity? What is its display like? Is there a built-in GPS? And what are the riding modes? Now the good thing is that most of the electric scooters available in India right now will offer you all of this and much more. Next is the charging time. You must know how long does it take for your electric scooter to be fully charged up from 0 to 100%. If it can be charged within 6 to 7 hours, say, then you should consider buying that electric scooter, as you can leave it on charge overnight without having to waste a lot of your time. And lastly, you should also get to know that the resale value of electric scooter is much higher than any conventional petrol scooter.
After 5 years, if you have to sell a petrol scooter versus if you have to sell an electric vehicle, think about 2027. What are the chances that you would want to buy a second-hand petrol scooter at that time, right? Versus what are the chances that you would want to buy a second-hand electric scooter at that time? So clearly the resale value of an electric vehicle bought today is going to be far higher than the resale value of a petrol scooter bought today, right? And when you add on all of this up, I think electric vehicles are far more beneficial financially to the customer. While what I must agree is that there is a marginal higher price that the customer has to pay on day one, right? And all manufacturers, financial institutions, and government are trying to find out ways to provide loans, to provide subsidies on income tax, etc., which take care of this additional cost and government subsidies, etc., which take care of this incremental cost that the customer is having to bear. But if a customer can afford that minimal extra, then it's an extremely profitable decision to buy an electric vehicle over a petrol scooter. More you ride, the better it is to own an electric vehicle.
Now, besides these 10 things, you should also get to know about the after-sale services, maintenance cost and warranty details from the manufacturer before finally buying your electric scooter in India. I hope this was useful. Do tell me in the comment section below what are your thoughts regarding buying an electric scooter in India right now. We've also made a detailed video on is India ready for electric vehicle revolution or not. So do check that out from the link in the description below. And like always, keep following Gadget 360 for more such tech content.